never stop to notice the fire in your head, burning so consuming, but now I understand.
Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 all 6 scores walkthrough. This is, I think it's the 6th mission. It's called The Bunker, and it's ripped directly out of an older Tony Hawk, so it's probably, design-wise, the best level in the game, only they've added a few features to it which just don't really add anything at all, except just make it kind of dumb, but I'll let them off because, you know, we've already shit on them enough, because they deserve to be shit on because they made a bad game. We'll activate the chopper by grinding the propellers and then jump on top of the chopper to get the bounce and get the DVD. The tape is in... You have to smash through one of the doors and then jump up here and jump off the top of that rail to grab it. Skate is pretty simple, just involves a couple of jumps. Like, I think I knew this level was going to be in the game, because when I went into Creator Park, this was one of the presets, the design of this room. And the design of this room with the 2 ramps coming down is directly out of the very first level, I think, of Tony Hawk 3. Because the first level on Tony Hawk 1 was that skate park from the demo, which is super iconic and I always really liked it. The first level from Tony Hawk's 2, I can't remember. But I think 3 was the bunker. I know the second level on Tony Hawk's 2 was the school, I think. The new version of school. But once again, it's been too long, dude. Way too long. But here is combo. It's a really nice line of grinds that is really manageable. Aside from that, if you fuck up like I just did, where I'm going to have to work extra hard here to get to it. But it's not the end of the world. There we go. So, on this mission you have to now break tyres, these tyre stacks. There's 8 of them. They're pretty easy to find, but once again, it can be really easy on this game to miss a single thing. And especially when the textures don't load so well, like that one on the back board there. Very ugly. Everything blends in. Like, the tyres don't even have textures on them at that point. They're just blurry brown objects. But knock them over, and you're one step closer to getting to the end of whatever this is. I mean, I don't know. I think there could have been less objectives, but have them be better, or more interesting, or more focused, because some of them, especially some of the repeated ones that just don't really need to exist, could have been saved for something that was fun. And there are objectives in this game that are really fun that just don't get used a lot. One of them is on this mission. It's the one where you have the icons to pick up that are a different colour, and you have to do a different trick to pick them up. And as much as I think that those objectives are tricky, and as much as the game fucks you by not doing the right thing when you pick them up and you can get a couple of glitchy results, I still think that they're much more interesting than some of the other stupid ones. Like, there's a mission on this where you have to break crates, and all you do is jump and press triangle in like this set path, which is really unambitious and stupid. It's so lazy, dude. It's like an intern who, you know, came from cooking school would make a better objective, because like it's almost like these people don't play games. Like, this will be cool in a game. We'll have them break things. We'll have them break things on a time limit, and the things can be these shady brown boxes that don't have the textures on them half the time. That's a good idea. But this is the 6th score, and it is 2.5 million, which is considerably high for somebody who's intimidated by high scores. But in the grand scheme of things, I think the guy who's leading this leaderboard has a 155 million combo, so it just goes to show, if you put in the time and you practice on getting some good lines and getting some good multipliers and going between manuals, grinding and tricks and what have you, you can do some sick stuff. And it's not that tricky to do either, dudes. It's just not that fun, I don't think. The emphasis on the vert I find very boring, because it's never the stuff that I enjoyed. I am a flatland and grinding guy, and this game does not let me control it like I want to, so I just don't do it that often. But the trick I just did gave me close to 2.5 million points. All I have to do now is make up the difference. And it should come quite quickly, hopefully. Now we just need to get another 50k, and we're done. Oh, there it was! A special that I didn't want because I was too low to do it, but I got a fucking backflip anyway. Great! I'm not worried, though. You can always carry a manual past the time and pick up the score afterwards. But that's 11, that's 12. Close to 3k, bounce off the wall, 18 multiplier, 20, 25, go up here, 7,000 points. Very close. There you go. An extra 216,000 points. Easy if you're good at scoring. Not so easy if you're not that confident. Bit of practice, folks. Get your timing. Know your tricks. You'll have it in no time. Emphasis on specials. Using your specials to cash in tons of points. And Godspeed. So, this is inflatable head one. You know, the objective that everybody loves. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds for the 6 score, and you cannot manual. So, my advice is to grind. I think this path that I've got up here is one of the better areas to do this on. You can just keep grinding in a circle. As soon as the percentage gets close to 100, land. But make sure you can land in time, because if you don't, you will blow up. So as soon as it gets to 90, get the hell off. And then get back up. And that's all I do. Go round and round and round, build that multiplier, build that score, wait for it to build up, and then cash it in. And just be aware that the timer's going to get faster the longer this goes. So when it gets to like 80, you want to be cashing in. I am dicing with death right here. You see that? Could have really easily died. Like, if I was going for a world record, I would be using those kind of strats, but I'm not. Instead, I should be landing about now. There we go. And that's all you've got to do, guys. Just keep on doing that. Keep going in a circle. You don't have to keep jumping like I'm doing. I just do it out of habit, because this is literally how I used to score back in the old days. And as soon as it hits 100, make that landing. And now I'm out of position and it's moving up really high, so I'll pop the special, do a special move, do another special move, and if you notice, it takes like 30% off per special, and we're so close to it now, but we need to be careful because it goes up really fast. So chain some stunts, and there you go. 6 score achieved, so I can stand and wait for my guy to pop. And we win. Job is a good one. Okay, what was that? Grisly Grind? 6,500, 6 score. So can you remember the place we just were? Perfect opportunity to get a high multiplier and lots of grinding. So go up the ramp and hit the grind. And all you have to do is do what I just did in that last video, only now we don't have to look ridiculous with a massively inflated head. And mix in whatever you can. Up, down, up for different grinds, if they still work. God, I miss command inputs on the stunts. It made it feel so much more interesting. But there's the special. Get back up on the grind. Here we go. Special's going to cash in a lot because it's worth a ton. Get a little bit of a multiplier on it. Into the Primo. Into a nice sloppy finish. Get back on the rail, you tard. There we go. So, going a little bit slow. Oh, that's cool, that one. What is it? FS overturn. I love it how he just turns. Shit's scary, man. And to do the dark slide, I figured out the other day, if you press down and grind when you have a special, he'll do the dark slide. The sickest looking skate move on a rail I've ever seen. Makes no sense to me, and I love it. But there it was. Got it quite comfortably. I'm sure you can do it in twice as fast as that. And then we've got this. You might notice that it said I had 2 stars on this objective just then. Well, I put up a video of this mission glitching out on me. It crashed, and then it crashed when I tried to start the game again. And then it was midnight and my digital download for Transformers had already been done, so I immediately started playing Transformers, and I didn't touch this game until I recorded 2 walkthroughs for that game, because that game's really fun, and this game is kind of fun at times, and at other times it's like, why the fuck did they do this to something that was glorious? But Ring's very easy, very fun, very natural. Really enjoy those objectives. You can always do them quite comfortably, and they always feel like they should be in the game. And 2 thumbs up for that. Whoever designed those ones really understands just less is more. Because those rings could go on for a minute or 2 and then they would be horrible. But because they're short and sweet, it just feels great. Like, I really like something that is, you know, 15 seconds of heavy execution, but it's easy to repeat. I don't want to do something for 2.5 minutes, because to me that's just boring, then it's too much. It's not that, you know, punchiness, that snappiness that makes it feel great. This is hard, by the way, because you can't go out of this area, and that's exactly what I do all the time. So all you've got to do is manual, and it's not tricky, it's just, you go so fast, and it's really easy to go out of the cone, so I would recommend staying here, and just working on your multiplier, and manualing between the ramps. It's going to get tricky, of course, as you get really high up on the multiplier and you manual for long enough, but by that point, ooh, that sucked. You see Tony's wrist then? That looked horrible. But do you know what is hilarious about this game? in all the areas that it's lacking, it has this ridiculously over-the-top, really in-depth, customise your character. In a game that I don't think anyone's going to play after a week. But there's so much shit to buy. I was absolutely stunned. And I've gone into the level editor, because I used to love the level editors. And on this game, I couldn't figure out how to tilt things. So I couldn't make tables tiltable up onto other surfaces. And then when you go through the presets, there's specific rails that are tilted. Almost like you don't have the option to do it. So I couldn't design the things I wanted. I also reached a limit too on putting stuff in the environment that you can interact with and like smash through like boxes, because I really like dressing the set effectively. I like making a pretty simple setup of stuff, and then I like putting stuff in that makes it look like people have been there, that makes it look like it exists in a world. But it turns out I was using the wrong thing, and apparently it has a massive limit on the memory, even though the complexity bar was nowhere near full, but it says you cannot put any more of these items in the map. Because I've just done too many, which is just stupid. Because I was putting like portaloos on top of vert ramps and stuff, and dressing things up with boxes in places, and vending machines. I was having a lot of fun as well, because I love that kind of shit. And then the game's like, nope, you can't do it anymore, so it killed my enjoyment. I'm like, fuck you, dude, I want to put a tree here. Let me put a tree here, damn it. I put a street lamp there, why can't I put a tree here? Come on. So I might mess around with that a little bit more, try and make something and put it out there. Maybe make a video of just messing around in the skate park editor, because I do think it's cool, and I do think cool people will make some stuff. But right now, I've been checking the created levels, and most of them are just dog shit. It's people that are putting them up there to try and get the achievements, because they're literally not putting anything in the levels. It's just the presets with nothing in them. And every time I play those and it asks me to rate it, I'm always like, dislike, terrible, bad, lazy, fucking never let this person design a map again. And then when I come across a cool one, I'm like, yeah, this is cool. It's simple, but it's fun. I like this. Leaving them ratings like a nice person. But unfortunately, it's Tony Hawk 5, and it's the least fun Tony Hawk I've ever played. So as much as there's all these options to do these fantastic things inside of it, like, it's the worst mechanics to be doing it with. I would rather go get my GameCube out of my cupboard, pop in Tony Hawk 3 if I wanted to actually play something really fun, and listen to that badass soundtrack with Alien Ant Farm telling me to make a wish while I skate. But there was the Trick Spot tautology, pretty simple stuff. Tony's target tracker. Oh, this is a simple one, this. You have to break them by doing flip tricks, and aside from the frame rate dying every time shit explodes on this game, which is really inconveniencing, this is a really simple objective, and you should be able to get it 1 or 2 attempts. Especially compared to some of the stuff you've done so far. Fuck those missions. But again, if you drop an input and you fall over, you need to reset because you're probably not going to have enough time. There you go. Simple stuff. Do you know another reason why Asteroid Belt's a horrible level? Because the frame rate can't keep its fucking knickers up. It's horrendous. And on one of the hardest missions, the entire first 5 to 10 seconds of the mission is on horrible choppy frame rate. This is the toughest mission on this level. And even that, once you get a good path on this, it's really fun. So I think this is probably the best level in the game, because there's nothing here that's going to keep you stuck for too long, and it's just the right amount of fun and right amount of challenge, I think. But this path here, it's not easy to figure it out. Figuring it out is the hardest point. As soon as you know it, like if you watch this video, you'll have no trouble doing this, as long as you've got, the fundamentals of Tony Hawk under your belt. But how cool was that? A great line, great level design, a fun objective. And then we have this pile of dog shit. Break the boxes. Dumb. You do not have to hit them, you have to be in the radius of them because you have some kind of weird splash, and look at the frame rate! Fucking hell. Oh, why? They can't even keep the frame rate up on a simple particle effect with a couple of like havoc bounce physics happening. Really? Terrible frame rate. It's like 9 frames a second that entire run. Ugh. But that's all the 6 scores on the bunker. We have 1 mission left, and then you can snap this disc, burn it and bury it, and send angry tweets to Tony Hawk, just demanding better, because we know he's capable of more, even though he probably had nothing to do with the design of the game, and they just stuck his fat head and his name on it. But thank you for watching, and you take care now.